What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Hangout Spot where you already know it's Real Talk Sports Talk, live from my man cave. It's your boy Johnny, and let's talk boxing because today I have a very special guest from the professional ranks. He is the former IBO lightweight champion, fights out of South Africa. His record is 32-5 with 19 knockouts, and he's been in there with some big names. You know, he's been in there with Devin Haney, Arnold Barboza, most recently in March against Raymond Moratala in a close fight, which we're probably going to go over in a little bit. And this Saturday, he's actually fighting for the WBO regional lightweight title in Argentina against a young Alan Abel Chavez. We're going to get into that as well. But without further ado, I want to bring in my man, a guy who I enjoy watching, lightweight contender, Xolisani, Nomeva, Ndongeni. I'm sorry about that. What's going on, champ? Welcome to the Hangout Spot, man.
Thank you, Rajani. Thank you. How are you? And thank you for having me in a spot.
Listen, man, it's a pleasure to have you here, man. Like I said, man, I'm a big fan of your work. Been watching you. You're one tough customer, and you've been in there with some of the biggest names in boxing. And this weekend, you got a big one. You got a big one coming up. In fact, you're in Argentina right now, just days away from this big fight with Alan Abel Chavez, a young guy who's 16-0, 14 knockouts. But let me tell you something. If there's anybody more equipped to be able to handle this, it's you, because like I said, two things. Number one, fighting with young and up-and-coming guys, that's nothing new to you, man. You've been there, done that.
Nothing new. And I fought the best guys. I fought the best young and fresh guys, unbeaten guys. And I was saying that I think this time, the boy, Chavez, he bites it more than he can chew, you know.
I hear you.
I don't think you know what's coming. I don't think he's ready for what's coming.
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. And then the second thing I was going to say is you're coming off a first-round knockout. So you're coming into this fight with some really good momentum, right? Last fight, first-round knockout. And that was in Johannesburg, correct?
Yeah, I fought in South Africa recently. Knocked the guy in the first round just to show that I'm not in that level in Africa. So I need to come back to America and do my thing, you know, and get back and dance with that I'm supposed to be dancing with.
I hear you, brother. We got to get you back. We got to get you back in the States, man. But before we get started, we dig in a little bit into this fight on Saturday. You got to tell me, Nomeva, where did you come up with that nickname, and what is it? What is the translation of that?
Nomeva, it's a Xhosa name. You know, in South Africa, there's languages. You know, there's 11 languages. So one of them is Xhosa. So I'm Xhosa, and Nomeva is a Xhosa name. In English, it's the wasp.
Right.
So,
right.
Wasp or the thorn. You know, because I sting not like a bee, but like a wasp. Because a bee stings and die, but the wasp stings and come back and keep on coming. You know, it does not.
I love it. Listen, I have my own theory. I figured watching you fight, champ, I mean, you're a very, very active fighter, man. You're energetic. You throw a lot of combinations. You have a stiff jab, long arm. So I'm thinking because he buzzes around the ring a lot, maybe that's why he calls himself the Wasp. But I like your analogy better than mine. It kind of hits home. But this weekend, so like I said, talk to me a little bit about how this fight came about. How was training camp, and how are you feeling just a few days before this fight?
My manager, Elliot, got the fight for me, and my trainers from Miami, KO Fitness, you know, Mike and Rainer Laponte approved the fight, and I was like, okay, if my coach, I believe in my coaches, you know, and my coach from South Africa, you know, they agreed that this one we can take it and we can win this one. It's a God-given, you know, title. So I was like, guys, why not, you know? And it's my thing. I've been around, I've got experience, and I know how to take all these boys. You know, I look at all my fights. You know, when I fought Devin Haney, I gave him a very beautiful fight. And also there were so many things that happened, you know, that made me lose the fight the way I lost. And I went to Nicaragua. Something happened, I fought. I was flat. I fought against Ernesto Mercado, who was very young and fresh. He couldn't do anything to me. But there was a lot going on in me. Otherwise, I gave them a good fight. Also, coming to fight with Arnold Barboza, who I just gave away the fight. Because I was tired, traveling and everything, getting in America very late, and not getting everything the way I'm supposed to, not recovering before after the weigh in and stuff. So I fought good 5 rounds with Arnold Barboza. He was not doing anything to me that much, but I could feel I'm tired after round 5. I was like, guy, after round 7, I was like, guy, let's just retire, because I'm not gonna win the fight regardless. There's no use of me going to 10 rounds and get punished, and I might end up getting knocked out. After that fight, I got a big opportunity to fight Dre Muratala. I knew for a fact that I can beat this boy. They too small for me. I think all the lightweights, they're not too strong to take me away. All of them. I don't want to lie. I'm too big. I'm a big lightweight, and I'm a very experienced lightweight. I fought Devin Haney 2019. I fought the likes of Zonke Fan. I used to be number 1 in the world. He lost to Barrera, those times, long time ago. So I fought no big names. So I've been around, and when we meet these guys, when I meet these boys, they don't shake me anyway with their punches. They don't do anything. For Dremu Rotala, I gave him my all, and I believe that I was supposed to take the fight and win it. But there's nothing I can do. I did what I can do at the time, but I believe that one day I'll get him back. So this one, I'm prepared for the fight. I trained, and I believe that he's biting more than he can chew. I don't think he's going to stand with me for a very long time. I'm too strong for them.
No, I hear you. I hear you. This is a young guy though, and one of the things that you pointed out is fatigue, obviously, in that fight against Barboza. But this is actually your 4th fight in 2024. So you've been very, very active. How do you feel this week, energy wise, having to travel to Argentina for this fight?
Tell you what, Argentina, it was also very close. The flight was not even more than 13 hours, to get here. Unlike going to America, Miami, where maybe I will go via Paris, France, or England, UK, and I'll be on the way for, let's say, more than 26 hours, around 26 hours. But this time it was one day. I left South Africa on Monday and I was here on Monday. So it's one of the things that makes me to be very confident, and I'm not tired from the flights, long flights, and everything. And so this is what happened when I was fighting Arnold Barboza. I was on the way for a very long time on the last week of the fight, and Mercado. When I fought Mercado, I landed in Nicaragua day before the weigh-in. And I was maybe 4 pounds over the night before, and I had to go and train at night. And next thing, I'm weighing in tomorrow, but I made the weight. I was fine. After I was on the way since Monday until Friday.
Wow, that's
until Thursday. So that was a long traveling, and I was tired. When I was fighting him, I could see that this boy, if he was experienced, he could take me off. But he was not experienced. He was just still very green, very young. Everything that he was doing, I was just taking it, but I couldn't do anything because my body was flat. Just like when I fought Devin Haney was still like very inexperienced. He broke my rib in round number 2 or 3, but he did not see anything. I was struggling to breathe for the maybe 2-3 rounds after that, and I could see, the boy does not know anything. He does not know he had me. He dropped me in the second round, but he couldn't finish me. And when we were in round 10 and 9 and 10, he was tired. He was going off, and I was like, I wish I'd agreed to the 12th round that they were proposing, but they didn't want to change the contract, you know. And I said, don't change the contract. I'm only fighting 10 rounds. But when I was in 10 rounds, I knew she can get 2 more with Devin Henry because he was going. He was tired. So I think all the boys, they are good, but they were not experienced when I fought them. And I believe that also this one, Ish, I know for a fact that he doesn't know what is going to happen on the night. He just looked at me losing to Remo Ratala and Arnold Barboza, and I don't think he understands they are different. They are way different. They are way different from him.
Yeah, no, definitely. Speaking of Ray Morataya, he fought this past weekend. I don't know if you got a chance to see the fight.
I saw the fight. I think almost the same thing happened.
I kind of knew you were going to go there because
almost the same thing happened. You know, I believe that Tevin Farmer did everything to win the fight. Yes, he gave away the last maybe 2 rounds, and okay, yeah, but he took many rounds. I think he was ahead on points here. He got taken a point from holding and stuff. But I think I still believe that he was ahead on point, you know. But you know, you're fighting Muratala at top rank. What are you expecting? You need to take him off.
I kind of knew you were going to say that because in your fight, obviously the scorecards were extremely wide.
Anyway,
I mean that was a really close fight, champ. And you know, listen, like you said, maybe there is something to that, right? This is a young guy, up and coming, a guy that they're obviously grooming to be one of the faces in the network. You hate to think that that's the case, but this is the sport of boxing. This is unfortunately the world that we live in, right? But you put up a very, very admirable performance. Like I said, I mean, you were sticking that jab, 2-punch combinations. You were busy. And for the most part in that fight, I felt like he was very uncomfortable. And that was due to what you were doing. Now, in the Farmer fight, you're right. Same thing, right? In the beginning part of that fight, Farmer was cooking. Looked like he faded a little bit at the end, like you said. But nonetheless, he gets another decision. I know that you've lobbied to get that rematch. You want that rematch.
I believe that, you know what? I believe that Remo Talent seriously have to give me a rematch because I am seriously believing that I took him off, you know, and he was so uncomfortable in the fight. I could see he was confused. You know, he didn't know what to do because I was always there. I was always here. I just did not connect my punches well, and I just did not take all the opportunities I was presented in front of me. But I was showing. I was there. I was in front of him all the time. I was giving him everything. Yes, I can't take it away that he was clever. He was managing to avoid some of the things that I was doing, and also be able to get there counters. But they were not doing anything. They were not hurting me. They were not doing anything. You know. So I believe if I can get enough time, more than 4 weeks training for Remo Tala, I'll take him off.
So I was not aware. You only have 4 weeks training?
Yeah.
You only have 4 weeks to train for him? I was not aware of that.
I was 3. I had 3 weeks. I trained for him.
Got you. So if you get that rematch, champ, what do you do differently next time?
I just need time, you know. I just need time. If I can get like at least plus 4 weeks to train for Remo Motala, I'll finish him off.
I hear that.
Still too small for me. He can't do anything. He can't hit me with any punch. He threw everything, but I was there. I was taking it, and I keep on coming. Bring it on, boy.
I hear that. Like I said, I mean, the last 2 fights with Ray, I haven't been, you know, as impressed as I was with him in the early part of his career. But, you know, those things are going to happen too when you start to step up the competition. I mean, world-class fighters, you know, things are going to get harder and harder. And, you know, and that's what you bring to the table. But there's a lot of big names. There's a lot of big names at 135. In fact, this division right now is buzzing. It's buzzing like the wasp.
Now, man. Fighting to get in the mix.
you got You got Shakur fighting with people on Twitter. You got obviously Tank Davis. Shakur's lobbying for a fight with Tank Davis, William Zepeda, a lot of big names. One of the things that I could say about you is you're never in a boring fight.
I can never.
But Shakur has been criticized for being in boring fights. Do you agree with that?
You know what? I watched the fight. It was boring. I also was gonna sleep. And the honest truth that I can tell you is that most of the time, these boys, like Shakur Stevenson's, Frank Martins, and some of the guys, that are champions. For example, what is this boy? Rolly Romero. I looked at them when they were still young. Devin Haney, when I was training at Floyd Mayweather 2017 in Las Vegas, I sparred with Rolly. I was playing with him with toy. I was looking at him. I was like, this boy is still green, needs to train. But he was a world champion now. They get opportunities that we are not getting. Being in America, that's why I am now basing most of the time in Miami, trying to be closer to the fights. Because being far in South Africa, you don't get the opportunities. So I think the boys are getting all the opportunities because they're in the good places, right places to get fights. So unlike us, you have to fight and work 10 times what a normal, random, average American boxer can do, to be in the space of getting world title fights, So we Africans, South Africans, we have to work maybe 10 times harder than what they are doing, but still similar opportunities.
I could definitely see that. That was actually a question I was going to ask you. If you ever thought about making full-time residency in the United States because of the opportunities, because you're right. The guys that fight here in the States are going to get more of the opportunities. And by the way, shout out to my boys, Rainiel Aponte, your head coach, and Mike Robles, my boy, your assistant. Miami KO Fitness Gym is in the house.
Yeah,
so I just wanted to give a shout out to them.
You know what? If I was not with them, I was not gonna get the Raymond Rotella fight. If I was not with them, I was not gonna get this fight. I'm grateful for to those guys. And they are family to me, and they welcome me and they open their gym for me without even knowing me. So I have a big respect for them.
Absolutely. They're great guys. What's the toughest fighter you ever faced?
I'm not gonna talk about these ones that you think I'm gonna talk about. Devin Haney was never a tough fight for me. He did not do anything. Raymond Atala was not tough. Other boys were not tough. That boy, and Nestor Mercado was not tough at all. The toughest fight I ever been was a South African boxer called Patrick Malinga. There's a Malinga that was a WBC champion long time. His son
Mm-hmm.
was, and he was a lightweight champion for some time in South Africa, South African champion. So I fought with him, for IBO International before I got the IBO world title. So he was the toughest fight. He dropped me in the first round. We fought. I dropped him more than 4 times in the fight, but he kept on coming. He was fighting until the last round. So every time I drop him down, he come back very strong. So I've never fight like that. And he unfortunately did not get the opportunity to be getting big fights in the world and be a world champion. So, but he was the type of fight for me. I've never seen a fight like that where I got tired to be inside the ring while winning the fight, but I had to finish. I even told my coach that I'm tired. Round 6, after dropping him, I dropped him maybe 4 times before round 6. And then when I came back to my corner, I was like about to tell my coach that I'm tired now. He told me, boy, I can see you're tired. Just run away. Just finish the fight. So that was my toughest fight.
Wow.
And the crowd, South African crowd helped me because every time they were shouting me to punch and hold, punch and run, punch and hold. I was doing just that until I finished the fight.
Wow. Much respect. Wow. Yeah, those are always the toughest fights. The guys that, regardless of what you do, man, they keep coming forward and forward. and they're in your face. So I get that. What's your most proudest moment in the ring?
The most proudest moment in the ring was when I won the IBO World Champion. And also recently getting inside the ring, fighting on the top rank promotion, fighting on Golden Boy promotions. Those are the biggest achievements in my career. You know, I've been fighting. I have a lot of fights. I've been 25-0. You know, but I've never been in the big stage like I was when I fought Ray Muratala, when I fought Arnold Barbosa. You know, so the most biggest moments for me was to get into a ring in an event of Golden Boy promotion, top rank promotions. You know, those are them. It's every South African or African boxer's dream, you know, to feature in one of those promotions, you know. So I made it to that level. So I'm proud, you know. I look at myself and be like, you know, out of so many boxers in Africa, you know, you got to this stage. It's not an easy African boxer. It's every African boxer's dream to be in America, to be in Las Vegas, to be in anywhere in America, and be in a TV card and in the main card. I've done that not once.
Absolutely, man. Much respect, much respect. This one might be a little tough. This question, right? If I'm talking to somebody that's never seen you fight, what fighter would you say you resemble the most?
My favorite of all times, you know, this is not a difficult. Chris Eubank, Senior.
Okay.
You know, Chris Eubank Jr. He is my favorite boxer of all time. He's the boxer I look up to when I started boxing, you know, because I've never been a very skillful boxer when I started boxing. I was just throwing punches, you know. I'm starting to understand and be able to box at this later stage of my boxing. So before, I knew that I need to be as awkward as I can and throw telling punches and big punches and everything is going to be possible, you know. So I watched a lot of Chris Eubank. You know, he was different. He did not care about shoulder rolls, did not care about looking good, did not care about boxing and skillful and whatsoever. He was there to finish the business.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, yeah, those are two big names to look up to. I mean, father was a legend, son is.
Yeah, that's my favorite of all times.
I love it. I love it. And have you heard the rumor? There's a rumor that he may be fighting, Chris Eubank Jr. might be fighting Canelo next.
I've heard that. I've been seeing that. And then luckily, my management is very close to Chris Eubank, you know. So I get to know his move most of the time. Yeah, Chris Eubank Jr. But my role model is Chris Eubank Senior.
I got you. That makes perfect sense. Wouldn't it be something if you take this title on Saturday, they push the Eubank Canelo card to like November, and then they put you on the undercard? That'd be crazy.
Let's say if, say when.
When. That's right. Absolutely. When you take this title, let's say Canelo and Eubank fight in November, which would give you enough time. It'd be crazy if they put you on that undercard.
It's a dream come true. Fighting undercard of Canelo and Chris Eubanks Jr. You know what? I'll just call my mom and say, "Mama, I made it."
I love it, champ. So when you win this fight on Saturday, play promoter a little bit. Who would you like to fight next? Is it that rematch with Moritalia, or would you like to go after somebody else, some of the bigger names in the division?
Obviously, my dream is to get to be a champion one day, which is one of the guys that are holding the belts. But I know it's not going to be an easy thing or possible thing as possible. But I would like to fight one of these guys, Ray Muratala, rematch. That's for sure. And I've seen a very big coward that is overrated, and I don't know why he was made to be like one of the big names, Frank Martin. Yes, he disappointed me when he fought
Tank, when he fought Tank.
Tank. I've never seen a card like that, Yes, we know Tank is throwing big punches. Tank is strong, but you cannot just be like that. You cannot just show that you're scared from round to round until you not get knocked out. I think he's disappointed me a lot. So one of the boxers that I would like to fight, Frank Martin, Remo Ratala rematch, and I believe that one of the days, if possible, I can get to Devin Henry match.
Wow. Okay. Trying to get that one back, huh?
Yeah, I wanna everyone that I lost to, everyone that I lost to, I believe there's something that I was just needed to do, and that if I can be given a chance, I will correct that and I can take them off. I was not in danger in all of them.
Right.
All of them. Yeah.
Do you think that you'll be fighting at 135 the rest of your career, or do you see yourself possibly moving up to 140?
I can still be at 135, but I can do 140 also because I'm big. I've been at 140 for a very long time. I think for more than 4 years, around 4 years, 3 years, I've been at 140. I've been fighting at 140 for most, maybe 3 to 4 years.
Is that where you'll max out?
Yes, I can't go over 140. I'll be small for 147, but 140, one boxer that I believe I can beat any day, 140. Romero.
Really?
Rolly is a weak point. Rolly is the weakest link.
I gotta agree with you there. When he was champion at 140, he was the weakest link there. I'd love to see it. I'd definitely love to see you with any of those names that you mentioned. I think it would be one hell of a fight. But first things first, man, you got to take care of business on Saturday. You got a big one. You got a big one coming. I know you're ready. Just a few days away, and I already know from talking to other fighters that this is the time where it gets itchy. You just want to get to fight night already. I mean, the training is done. The weight cutting is done. You just kind of want to get there. So, you're only a few days away. So I wish you nothing but the best. Champ, this was an absolute honor having you on. I had a blast. But let my viewers and your fans know where they can find you on social media.
Oh, nice. Thank you. Xolisani _Nomeva. That's my Instagram. Xolisani _Nomeva. Or either way, Nomeva _Xolisani. Same thing. So that's my name on Instagram. Twitter, it's Nomeva XN. Nomeva and my initial. Xolisani Ndongeni, which is XN. So that's my Twitter, and my Facebook is Xolisani Ndongeni. Nomeva.
Well, listen, I'm always following you. So make sure my viewers, y'all check out my man right here, the Wasp, Nomeva, always doing this thing. And for my viewers who are new to watching, make sure you subscribe. This is how we do it up here at the Hangout Spot. Champ, I appreciate you coming on. I wish you nothing but the best on Saturday. Make sure you bring that title home.
I'll be back very soon in the States, Thank you, Johnny, and the Hangout Spot. It's always a pleasure to be in the sport, in a space where I'm able to express myself and talk to the viewers and people who are possible going to be my followers one day, and after knowing this and seeing this, so I appreciate the opportunity.
No, absolutely. You are always welcome back to the Hangout Spot, man. Once you come to the Hangout Spot, you are family. So I definitely got to get you back on, champ.
I'm going to be showing the belt on Monday.
We'll get you back in here. I want to see that belt. I want to see that belt when you win it.
Wake me up on Sunday morning and say, "Where, champ? Where is it?" I'm going to show you. I'm going to be like, "Yeah."
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. But as always, for my viewers, thank you for your support. Thank you for watching. And I'll talk to everybody soon.